It's whatever, baby. It's whatever, baby. It's whatever, baby. It's whatever, baby.
Pusha T is so underrated. It's crazy how underrated Pusha T is. But you're on the show about whatever, with your host with the most, Hektek, right here at Whatever by Hektek, the show that we just sit here and talk our shit. You know what I mean? I got one of my good friends, Jordan Wright, on here. Me and this dude literally talk damn near every day. So this is probably what our normal conversations may be. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them fans about you.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jordan Wright, man. Hey, you gotta fix that though. We ain't friends, we brothers. That's what you need to understand. We brothers from another mother, man,
Yeah,
or a brother from another mister, man. Somehow we related. A
yeah,
Virgo brother
yeah.
or something. But yeah, man, the second time on the show. I'm excited to be here. And you're right, dog. Pusha is definitely underrated. Pusha is definitely, man, that boy nice.
Like I was around some people today, and we were talking about like eras in rap and stuff of that nature. And
Hmm.
someone brought up Drake and how no one like could crumble his dynasty, which is true, right? However, Pusha came very close.
I
Pusha
mean,
came. Pusha Pusha held back. Pusha is the reason we know he has a son.
yeah, we wouldn't even know.
We wouldn't even know.
We wouldn't. No one. He would have had that. He would have kept that under wraps until that man was like 25.
18.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm Drake Jr.
Right. Right.
You know?
So I think the reason it didn't happen though is I do think Drake is just he's kind of untouchable at this moment. So it's hard to take him off his mantle. You know what I mean? He is that guy as much as people may not sometimes I don't even like Drake. Sometimes I want to hate Drake too. You know what I mean? He
How can
does
you
a
hate
lot of
Drake?
corny shit.
I can't agree with that because oh man, a couple of the cats used to give me shit back in the hood and calling me Drizzy Jordan Drake because I'll be doing the same shit,
He-
singing the bitches and doing dumb shit. No, I'm just
yeah, well,
yeah.
he does a lot of corny shit to me. So tell them because we never had a one on one. Last time
We
you were on the
haven't.
show, it was a group function. I'm going between groups and singles and all that stuff and live action and all that. So how long have you been in the industry? What industry you in? Because they might not know.
So I've been in the entertainment industry for man, what is this, year two now? This is year two. Yeah. I guess so. You've been around here as long as, you've been here as long as I've been in the game and you've been in here longer, so you've seen my, I guess, ascension. And so I mean, dude, it's just like every day is like a new challenge or something new coming up. But yeah, I've been in the game, the adult industry for a year now. We're going on this will be 2 years now. Yep, because last year the event that just happened would have been my anniversary kind of come out party, with what all I've been able to do. So I'm happy, man. This industry has brought a lot of good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's what you make of it, man. So I'm happy to be on the show with you, with my brother, and we can talk and have this conversation, dude.
Yeah. So what has your journeys been? Well, let's back up a little bit because I'm gonna
Mm.
ask you the typical question every civilian dude asks. How can I get into the industry?
Okay, if you want to get in the industry, you got to build up your own fan base where you're at. You have to do your own work and not ride someone else's coattails. Knowing that I'm on the show, whatever, it's whatever. I'm letting it fly. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You gotta be able to put in your own work, and that means working with other civilians and getting them to sign some paperwork or doing some stuff where they don't show their face and just kind of show your stuff. Do it that way. People want to see work. They want to see what you're working with. If you're just trying to ride off of my coattails or Hektek's coattails, it's not going to work. You're not going to last long. You might get like maybe just an ounce of clout, but after that, you're done. Because then they're gonna be like, you're just Hektek's lackey, and that's the thing. So you just got to put in your own work. It's just and get yourself seen, and don't be afraid of rejection, and don't be a dick. Just use it. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, so it's definitely different from cis female talent because they can ride on people's coattails and just.
We don't want to do that today, man. Do we really want to do that today? Because there's been some things I've seen today. My
Yeah,
God,
yeah, they
my
could
God.
just ride on other people's coattails and kind of make it. You know what I mean? It is. I definitely the longevity is more there for men. However, it's easier for women if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%, 100%. It is so easy. And honestly, man, and I got a secret for everyone. This is going to be all new to the show. There's no skill. You don't have to be good at anything. You just have
Not
to
one
show up.
thing.
You
70,
just have to show up. There's no formula. There's no Mike secret stuff to my Space Jam fans. There's no secret pill. As a female, it is literally, you know, all you got to do is just put a little bit of work in on your portfolio. You don't have to do too
just a
much.
little. I normally do tell people this industry, in my opinion, 75% is showing up.
It's and bro, that's every industry. That's literally every job that you can possibly do in the world. It's just showing the fuck up. Like, just show up, and the rest will speak for itself. One, that shows you're reliable. Two, you're independent. Three, you want it. So it's just like what I said something to you the other day, man. I was like, some of these cats got some of my work because I turned it down. And that's just because, man, I'm out here rehabbing and just trying to get back on track. I'm coming for y'all. And then at that time, I might not even want to work for some of these people anymore, to be
No,
honest with you.
and I've definitely given work to other cameramen and stuff like that. Not, what I mean? I couldn't do it or I wasn't going somewhere. Someone hit me up and I was like, hey, here's my man's. He's just as good. Going,
Mm-hmm.
and someone recently, a couple months ago, was like, yo, I thank you because we
Mm.
all know the crabby crab mentality most people would have had. They would have been like, I ain't giving you nobody. So
Pulling
you
you
gotta go
down.
figure that shit out yourself. But for me to off the cusp was like, all right, hit my man's up. Here's his information. Do 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 do. And they were like, thank you for that. Yeah, we really wanted you. However, now we already know of someone that's in this area in case we can't get you or case may be. You know what I mean? Stuff of that nature. Um, so the females riding coattails and the no skill needed. I mean, and that's even for men. Well, I'll say for men it's a little different because we have to keep our dicks hard. We got to pop. We got to get in awkward positions and stuff of that nature. Versus we could really have some legit pillow princesses and
And
that's
they
it.
would have over 600,000 followers, and people love them on their set because they're just there and cute.
Yeah.
You're right. It is what they call it. Instead of whip control, it's called dick control. It's just, you got to be able to, you know, control it. All right, all right. Time is money for these producers. So it's like, you don't want to be sitting here all day, all right, Jordan, come on, bro. Like, give me, just give me a noise or something. Get it out.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
because it's like if we're here at 45 minutes, like, bro, like, no, I mean, most people ain't lasting 2 minutes into the film anyway. So it's just like, you might as well, you got to be able to figure out how do you get to that point. And once you're
Yeah.
able to figure out how to get to that point, that's when you start control. And that's when people start like, okay, this guy's reliable. This guy can do this. He can stay on. You don't have to be attracted to the person. Think about someone else. But if your shit just starts going, not only the directors and the producers going to talk about you, not only are the audio man going to talk about you, the females going to talk about you. When the females talk about you, they're
However,
going to talk about other females.
I do feel that's semi unfair, right?
It is.
Because we hear this word starts with a P
Uh-oh.
all the time, professionalism. You know what I mean?
Not that
Um,
word. Not the
yeah,
professionalism
yeah, the
word.
professionalism word. So if a dude's not batting 1,000, cool. You know what I mean? It happens.
It does.
But but sometimes, so my thing to the men are, stop sitting up here killing your dick trying to bring it back to life. And sometimes you just gotta call it, bro. You just gotta say, you know what? Today ain't the day. I apologize. I'm sorry. I really wanted to work with you. Woo, 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 this and that. Now, if you have a really, really cool chick, she will ask you these words. What do you need?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. That's realness right there. I got a question for you though. Even though we're on your cast, have you ever seen those situations with your work? Like,
What,
have you ever seen some of those things happen? Such
like
as
what?
like you just said, like they called it, or they didn't call it, and they ran over time, or have you seen
Oh,
like the
all the
female
fucking
do it?
time. Where
Okay,
I'm looking
okay,
at the dude like, bruh. And sometimes I'll call it before the female call it because the female's really trying to get the work in. But
yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
I'd be like, all right. Or like if they taking breaks too much. I don't like that. I like to shoot all at one time. And so we could go ahead and move past it and go. So sometimes I'd be like, all right, bro. Yeah, we're done. No, I still
mm,
no, 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 no. We're good. We got everything we needed to get. Appreciate you because when you sit up there with a person who's just at this time procrastinating, right? If you're with this person that's procrastinating and prolonging this already train wreck, everybody's pissed.
mm. Because time is money.
Versus you be a man enough to be like, hey,
I don't got it.
I don't got it today.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
know what? Most people will still give you a second, third, fourth, fifth chance. Or we'll say like this, all right, we're going to porn magic this shit.
Mm, okay.
I think a lot of the issues and the pressures on men is because of the women that's quick to go to Twitter, or quick to go here,
Mm-hmm.
quick to go here, quick to go there, and say, his dick don't work, da da da. But was the scene fire? Like, did we get everything we need to get? Because there's a lot of people now in this industry just looking to fuck. They don't care about the content.
That's true. That's true.
I've
That's
heard
true.
women say, "Oh, I didn't get to come," or "I didn't come." I'm like, sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. Did the scene look good? Yeah. All right. Well, then that's all that matters. Like you know, like go take it up with your husband.
Or whomever, go
Yeah.
rub one
Yeah.
off in the corner. I don't know, but
Yeah.
the responsibility of you having an orgasm is not on the man.
It's not. He's just
If
there to
if it
perform.
happens, it's a
That's
bonus,
great. Yeah.
but it's not required. It's not required for women like it is for men.
Yeah. It's
Because
like
guess
our
what?
job is
No
to
one can
literally do it.
tell realistically, unless you're a super squirter, no one can tell that you came and didn't come.
Yeah, like if you're known for that and you don't do it like at all, but that's not even really even coming itself though. That's just like it's just a bodily, reaction to certain things. Like that's not an actual orgasm for some women. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's just something that happens. So it's just
Mm.
like if the man can't do it in the scene, or sometimes women hold back on it because it can trigger another response. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like, one woman can do it and they may have to shit, so they got to hold it back. It's just like you never know. But at the end of the day, we always have to. There is no like, hey, and that goes a long way. Even if it's like a little bit or a lot, it's you still gotta do it. That's the reality of it.
Yeah. But like I said, they like to use that word professionalism when it's convenient, So yeah, running off and going and tell the next girl how this dude's dick don't work and all this, that's not professional,
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So that's that. Um, so is that all the advice that you give a guy getting into the industry or how to get into it?
Um, I mean, there's always a lot of different things, but if I give too much out, then I'm gonna have to start charging. And the reality is this, man. It's like just do your own work, let the work speak for itself. Don't clout chase. Go get your bag, work on your dick control, and let the people come to you and reach out to the people you want to work with and develop your brand. After that, I'm charging. That's it.
Got you. So, what advice would you give a female? Although we know it's easier
Ooh.
for females to get into it, but you being a male, what would you say would be the thing that you would tell a female trying to get into it?
I think the best, and I'm glad you gave me this platform to say this, man, because I think there's a lot of females out there that are just naive and not knowing a lot of different things because this is something they feel like it may be like either one, a last resort, or two, they want to be feel liberated. They want to feel liberated with this. So the thing is, for a female starting into this, um, be comfortable in yourself. Don't let somebody try to put you in a box because of what they think you are. Build your own brand in the same way, and don't be afraid to say no. But be prepared for a lot of people trying to take advantage of you. There's a lot of homosexuals as well. There's a lot of people out there that want to take full advantage of you because you're new. You got to just do your homework, do your research. And honestly, I would say, man, if you can have a battle buddy for this, definitely try to have someone that you don't have to be buddies with people, but someone that you can bounce ideas off of and someone you can talk to and like help you do research and pretty much protect your flaws and help you increase your strengths. Because when you're doing that, that allows you to grow. And you're not going to know everything within the first month, the first year, the first 2 years. But I think that as long as you are listening and taking things in and being open, you're going to succeed. And don't allow a man to tell you that you can't do whatever you can do, or let a female put you down because you don't look the same as them. Rock out with your, I would say rock out with your cock out, but rock out with your clit out.
Yeah,
It's just do you, be great at you, and don't be afraid to say no and do your research because there's a lot of predators in this game. There's a
both
lot
male
of
and female.
scrubs. There are a lot of male and female. That goes universal. There are a lot of predators that will try to take advantage of your money, your body, and your prestige. And a lot of times when people do these things, they're doing it because they either see that you have value that they no longer have, or they want to ride your coattails and ride you on the elevator up. And I think that there's so many beautiful women in this industry that just need to have that advice, but a lot of them don't want to listen because they think they know. So my best advice is just, you have two ears and one mouth for a reason and use it. Utilize your resources and don't be afraid to ask questions. And don't be afraid to say no because you don't want to regret a scene because then that's going to hurt you. And don't do anything that will burn yourself out, no matter male or female. I've had a couple burnout conversations with Hektek, and you know, it's one of those things, man. It's real. So that'll be my advice.
It
Sorry, I was so
definitely
long
is.
winded there.
Yeah, no, burnout is real. Burnout. That's why man, for a fact, I take breaks. I'll be like, yeah, I ain't shooting this month. I ain't doing this. I'm not doing that. Because I want to
Man,
save my own peace and my own self.
as you should.
Speaking of predatorials,
Predatorials.
yeah, predatory people. Um, I would definitely say I've seen an influx of predatorial males, predatory females, and predatory couples.
You want to get into that?
Yeah. This is a show about whatever.
Oh,
So
I
yeah.
love this. I love this.
I
Cancel me.
definitely, I definitely want to talk about the couples first. Um, Only because there is such more couple negotiations.
Yeah.
And what I mean by couple negotiation is you might approach to shoot with a specific female, the other person gets involved and be like, nah, you can't do this, woo de woo, unless we all shoot or unless you bring another partner to
Mm-hmm.
shoot with
Mm-hmm.
us. Um, how do you necessarily feel? Because I mean, you are in a relationship in the industry, so how do you feel about those type of negotiations?
So I I love this. I need to be on this platform like every week. I think you got to give me a segment, bro. I'm requesting it. Your fans are going to ask me to because I'm going to probe. So for me, man, I look at it like this: being in this relationship and having this is like it's a wonderful thing, but then it's like at the same time, someone who was a solo creator for so long, it's a slippery slope. And one of the things I think that the first thing should be whenever you're trying to engage, depending on your relationship status, like my situation is strictly females. There's no couples. There's no couple swap. There's no like two guys and like it's just strictly two women always. So the first thing is, does the woman that we're trying to shoot with actually like women? Because if you're not interested in actually doing things with women, it's going to show on camera most of the time. I mean, you can fake it till you make it, but also you got to have respect for the relationship, and then that's just on this side. But for me, looking at it, because I've seen other people try to bring my significant other into the fold, it's like a lot of these dudes are corny as hell with it because they don't know how to talk to females. So what they do is they use their female, knowing that their female is attractive, they'll use their female as a bargaining chip so they can get some pussy. And that's just the reality of it. So it's like it's predatorial because it's like I'll see cats trying to DM her and it's like, come on, bro, like well, you ain't slick. And it's like they'll be like, hey, I'm the husband of this. We would love to shoot with you. And it's not like the wife doesn't even know,
Bro,
or
I've
it's
had
like they
full
like have no idea.
conversations. I have full conversations thinking I'm talking to the female talent. When I see the female talent, I'm like, oh yeah, it's great. I loved having our conversation with the woo. And she's like, what conversation? And I'm like,
Exactly. So it's like it's predatory, and that's only on the male side. Like that's a you experience right there. We're talking about
mm-hmm.
the females because it's like there's cats out here that have been using their girlfriends' names just to get a shoot, and it's like they ain't even together no more. Like it's that kind of corny stuff. It's corny stuff, and you and I talk about this all the time, bro. It's like, yo, and now we got this platform. I hope everyone hears this because I don't give a fuck. I've been trying to, I've been keeping my mouth closed on Twitter not to get canceled. But I'm gonna put it like this, man. It's like you see these cornballs out here. It's like, yo, let's be honest. You wouldn't be able to fuck half of these porn stars in this game if you didn't have your little cute bargaining chip who's sexy as hell that actually wants the female and only using you for clickbait. You're only there
Mm-hmm.
as clout because the female's doing all the grunt work. Like you ain't nobody. And dog, I said this to my girl, bro, and I said this and I mean this. If you line up about 5 of these male creators in this game and strip them from their clout, their titles, anything like that, and put them in the club, we'll see how many numbers they actually get. They can't pull some of these girls without their collateral. Let's just be honest. We don't want to have that the conversation. They don't. It's either you got it or you don't, and they ain't ready for that. But it
Nah,
is what it is. But it, like in regards to couples, man, there's predator way. But then it's like from us, like, and I'll put a little bit of game out there for how me and her move. It's more so, it's more so like this. It's like do they find her? Do they want her first? Do they want her? Do they want me afterwards? Because it's like there's no point because I like as a solo creator or a male creator beforehand,
Hmm.
I never had a problem with setting up things for myself. But now that we're moving as a team, it has to be mutually beneficial for the both of us and the three of us.
Right.
So there's no way, there's no reason for one of us to only like the person just wants one of us. It just doesn't work that way. Because if it does, then it's like basically, well, I'm not going to use her as a bargaining chip because I don't need to.
Right.
It's
Right.
either
Right.
you want me or you don't. So if you just want to shoot a girl with her, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I don't need to fuck you. I'll film it for you. After that, we Gucci. You can go home.
I mean,
But
and
I'm not
I think you know me, and you know a couple of my situations. And I don't think I've ever forced myself into.
into yeah. Well,
Most of the time, I'm
you
like,
don't
"Go
force
do you. I'll be here," and I'm going about my business.
you don't force yourself in any situation. You just get forced into a situation.
Which situations I get forced into?
You just end up in. Can I say this? Are you sure? You just fall in pussy sometimes.
Uh, yeah.
He said, "Yeah, all cool and stuff." You so smooth, Lando. uh,
Yeah, it happens. It
yeah,
happens.
it happens. What happened, Tech? Oh, I fell in.
Yeah,
How's the
yeah.
water down there?
I tripped, fell, slid. But I think the thing
Mm,
is too, just like you said, I've been getting this before this industry. I actually don't even care about it in this industry no more. Because I've,
mhm,
I've been getting it. I've been getting it since I
mhm,
was a jit. You know what I mean?
mhm. Can
So
you
it
explain those things?
what
What
jit?
did you? Yeah, yeah.
All
Can you
right.
explain that?
So for everyone that doesn't know what a jit is a Florida term meaning youngin, young kid, young bull, all that. A jit. So yeah, I was waiting for it. I was like, is he gonna stop me on this, or he gonna let me
Of
keep
course, you know
going?
I am. You know how I am.
Yeah.
You know me long enough.
So yeah, I've been getting this. So it's nothing new for me.
hmm
Um, and I think a lot of people feel like because I'm a bigger dude that I don't get play. I don't know what they think, but it's not true. When I find out myself in certain situations, I mean, Jordan has seen me in certain situations where, yeah, I had a whole month that I was not losing. I could not fail.
I told you. I
I
told
know,
your
I
ass. Okay. As long as you know.
know, I know.
As long as you know, bro.
Yo, I could not fail. I was like 10-0. It was ridiculous that month.
Oh
It was
man,
it was a couple of months like that. But
bro, you did it to yourself, man.
but
You got
so
greedy.
so so how does your girl navigate with this same situation? Like not feeling like she's being used as a bargaining chip, not using you as a bargaining chip, stuff of that nature.
Ooh, this is kind of tough, man. And not in a bad way. It's just communication is the key, number one. And you gotta put your pride to the side if you really want to make this work outside of this industry. Because a lot of people like one of the things you told me, bro, from the gate, you were like, a lot of these things don't last. I'm just letting you know. I'm not saying that I wish down on you because I know you never prey on my downfall.
Yeah.
You've always been like A1 since day one. So it's like when it comes down to this it's kind of like letting each person take a lead on something and letting them call the shots. So it's like that person has to learn what you like and don't like, and that person also has to learn like what works and and valuing your input. So pretty much, hold on, I thought I heard something else. Oh my god, someone trying to get in my crib. Um, so pretty much, it's one of those things where it comes down to this. It's like I let her kind of dictate in a sense of who we're going to work with
Hmm.
because the thing is if I just start picking everyone else, I can end up in. If I'm like, oh, I like her, it's like, damn, like why are you even with me? That's how she would feel because then I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta have communication. Like I can like suggest like, oh, hey, babe, what do you think of this person? She's cool. Like, what do you think? Like, do they do this? Do they do that? And what we're learning is what's going to sell, what's going to make sense, and like not just shooting with everyone just because we can. Um, the thing is, before this, I was talking to you about it. Like, I plan on being more exclusive with my scenes, regardless. So
Hmm.
now I'm even more exclusive because if you're not trying to rock with her, you ain't rocking with me.
Yeah.
And that's the same with like how I maneuver in general. If you ain't rocking with my man's tech, how do you expect me to rock with you? Like,
Yeah.
we don't have to have a problem unless you make it a problem. So for us, when we're talking about it, there's no bargaining chip. It's just like it's really for us. It's like, hey, do you want to work with us? We're trying to create a whole empire, and for us to do that, you have to communicate, you have to build, and have an expectation on what these things are. So once that is solidified, you really can't lose.
So do you feel? Because I know
Mm,
it's almost like the same term, and you'll get it once I say it. It's almost like the same term. Black people can't be racist, right? Do you feel females can't be predators? Because for some reason, there's a whole big push that females are pushing, saying, "Look at what men have done. Look at what men have done. Look at what men have done." Like they can't as well be predatorial. However, I've heard a lot of the stories where more women have been taken advantage of by other women versus men.
and that's the point right there. To answer your question, it is definitely possible that females can be predatory. It may not. The differences of predatorial with a male and a female is we have more muscles, so we're going to be more predominantly when we're being a predator per se, forcing our will on them physically. But a female is a predator maliciously with intent with mental.
Hmm.
So when you're thinking about it, female gets you all buddy buddy, get all cool with her, find your weaknesses. My man put me on a deep of a song called Broski. I know where you sleep. I know where you keep your bread at. I know where you keep your stash at. Like,
Hmm.
bro. So with the females in the game, it's like I want to know everything about you. I want to know what your kid's name is. I want to know this stuff, and then I'm going to utilize that against you later.
Hmm.
I'm going to talk about it, like, and then they start talking about it to the ops. Then they start talking to the other people. Don't work with that girl. And then so that predator vibe is in so many different like fluxes that people are like, yo, like, were they ever even friends? And the reality is they prey on the new ones because why not utilize that person's clout and that potential? And then when you no longer need them, if you're that type of person, you kick them to the
Yeah.
curb for the next one, for the next
Yeah. Yeah.
person. And that's
Hundred
just the
percent.
reality of it. So it's just like you overall, anyone can be a predator. It's just how they become a predator. Now, can they do that to men? Absolutely. Falsification of things, false rape charges, false all types of stuff. You can falsify anything just to get what you want, to make a point, to go and say, I did XYZ, you know, and then utilize that to put someone down. I mean, shoot, like my situation in March, I can't say that person was a predator trying to get me out the way, but I can tell you the two other males that had to deal with that person. See if they still hanging out with them. See if they block. See if they have something to say. And again, this is whatever. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
People will take advantage of others no matter what. They take the kindness for try to take the kindness for weakness, man.
No, hundred
That's
percent.
that's unfortunate.
Definitely unfortunate. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a little break. We're going to play some of the greatest hits. Remember, this is Whatever by Hektek on Optus Radio. If you haven't downloaded, go download it now. I'm on every Thursday nights at 8 p.m. So we're going to be right back. Yo, that's insane.
Well,
We're
what's
back.
up?
We're back. That's another slept on artist too.
Big Sean?
Yo.
Bro, that Dawn Life? Oh my God.
Actually, the Detroit 2 was smacked.
Mm,
Yeah. He's another one. He's
bro,
another one that slept on really, really hard. Like for real.
definitely a lot of slept on artists.
Yeah. So I'm back here with my guest, Jordan Wright. We're here talking our shit, talking about predatories and all this other
Hobosexuals.
stuff. Yeah. Are we bringing up homosexuals?
Let's hold that one. Let's hold that
Oh,
one.
okay, okay,
Let's
okay,
hold that one.
okay, okay. Whew. I thought we were really about to go in our bag today. I was like, shit. All
We
right.
ain't ready for that.
So, something I do want to bring up.
I'm
It's a
ready.
topic that me and you've closely been looking at this whole week. By the time this shit comes out, it'd be
All right.
far
All
down the
right.
road.
I'm with it, whatever. I'm with whatever. It's whatever.
Um, people. Do I want to say people telling half truths or people making misleading posts?
I would say misleading post.
Okay, so we'll go with the misleading post. So
Okay.
there was a situation, someone made a post about a male creator not to work with this person and alluded to because they worked with this person, their mental health, it struck PTSD. As the story went on, it got more, I don't know, it went all the way around the world and back just for it to now be no, it wasn't him specifically. It was just a situation that I put myself into. Of course, when the initial post went out, you you got those, yeah, fuck him, girl. Yeah, I knew he was something wrong with him. I knew he was this type of person. Woo woo woo. And now the story is this dude didn't do not one thing to this woman. Um, and of course, I tell you the same thing, Jordan. No one cares about the truth; they just cares about who told it first. So she ends up telling the story first, and it's almost like a news article. When it's like the hottest thing, it's on the front page. But when they
Mm-hmm.
have to retract a statement, now it's on page 68 in little fine
Mm-hmm.
print on the bottom.
They hate retractments.
Oh, and this was a huge retract because I personally feel, and I try not to be biased in situations like this, but I personally feel that they should have never made a post like that to begin with. Secondly, they should have said the house or what, because I guess it was a reality TV show being filmed or something of that nature. They should have just put that out. Like, yo, I realize I can't be in a house full of whatever. That would have been more like, okay, I see your point, versus I will not recommend working with this particular person, insert name here, and then disappear for a couple hours where people are like, yo, what the fuck happened? So, what is your standpoint on this? Because I know we've both been looking at this shit all week. I mean, shit's still dropping as we speak.
Okay. And I'm trying to I guess you would call it Jordan it. Or what
Oh,
did you say?
yeah, you trying to Jordan it?
Yeah.
Oh, speak your inner Jordan? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So for me, with the
So
whole
for so
situation,
real quick, so for people that
okay.
don't know, me and Jordan are very much yin and yang. Where I'm ready to destroy everything, Jordan's like, but we need to look at the other side and be diplomatic. Now it's crazy because when Jordan's like fuck everything, and I'm the one be like, nah, we need to relax a little bit, see what's going to happen. So we very much flip flop sometimes. Although we are very similar, we're still very much apart or different.
Yo, this is what happens like when you get two Virgos on a different sun or some shit. It's just crazy. It don't make sense, man. Because you're right. Like when I'm on this show, I kind of feel like I'm more you
On this show,
instead of yeah, because I just don't care. Like so, it's just like the show's name is like it's whatever. So it gives me that. All right, I'm speaking my full truth, and it allows me to. All right, let's get the stuff that I've been keeping in, and I
yeah,
made an X post earlier that is like there's so many things I want to talk about on this app that I don't because I'm very diplomatic. Like there ain't too many people that are going to compete with me when it comes to a battle of words. There's not too many people that are going to compete with me when it comes to intellect.
yeah.
So when I think of these things, it's like, all right, I know if I say this, they're not going to understand that. So when we're talking about this situation, it is really
Now
basic.
let me also give a little bit more insight. Not to cut you off, my
Okay, no,
bad.
you're good. You're good.
But though the person who made a post is a white woman against a black man. Cool. Now go ahead.
So my thing is, I personally believe that we don't know everyone's backstory. We also don't know how everyone handles certain things. So we don't know what the person was going through, what the PTSD was.
She did
We
explain it.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that part. What
So
that
she
actually was.
explained that the PTSD came from all the fighting and all the rah rah, the loud noise of what a typical reality TV show will be.
I hear that, but what does it give you post traumatic stress of? Was that
I'm
explained?
assuming. Well, I don't like we said we don't know her background. However, those were the triggers that led her down this path.
So, and that goes into my point where okay, these things triggered you, but triggered from what? Like you, if you were in the military, if you're in the military and you actually fought overseas and you suffer from PTSD because you might hear a loud noise, so your reaction is to get low. Your first reaction is like, "Oh, what the hell? I got to protect myself." So were those things triggered by like did you get beat up at one point in time? If something happened to you where a bunch of girls may have jumped you or a bunch of guys may have taken advantage of you. So what are these things happening? So it's like for me, what we have to understand is what um Susan from California been through is not the same thing that Bianca has gone through from Brooklyn. So when we get these people together, it's kind of like, what are your backgrounds? And I'll touch on this real quick. Whenever you're talking to a white woman, I think whenever you have to make sure you're kind of like doing your homework on them. And that's the same thing with any person. And the reason I say that because if you are a black man, not only in America, but in the world, if you're going to bring a white woman in any kind of environment, what are their backgrounds? Do they just listen to the same music with you? Do they smoke weed? Is that it? Because if that's it, that's not enough. They have to understand the struggle. They have to understand what you go through when you walk out the house. They have to understand what you can do can affect them, and you can make it lie. There's a reason why there is why Emmett Till's name still rings today. And I don't even want to say these things on this podcast because we're talking about other stuff. But let's be honest here. Emmett Till's
Rosewood, Tulsa, all these things are stemmed from white women accusing black men of something.
so with that being said, you have to
Oh, they
vet
just
them.
thought we slang dick. They didn't think we knew any history. You know what I mean?
Oh, they don't know your boy college educated. They ain't ready for that. So
Uh,
here's the thing, man. It's like when it comes down to it, bro, like you can't just have a normal white girl in certain situations. You can be cool with a white woman. You can like a white woman. You can be friends with a white woman. But to an extent, that white woman has to understand a struggle. And they have to know that they have to be like, I have to protect my black man. And my words go so far that my one word can make that one talent end up missing because there's some white knight out there ready to go off of this person's words. And that is the reason why these things are, a lot of people just don't know, because a lot of people don't know the power they possess with words and keyboards. And once people start realizing that, I honestly think, and I mean this wholeheartedly because I sent you the DM today. I'm like, look, this is what I wanted to see, and it did. Again, there's a reason why my last name is Wright. I'm always right. So the thing is, I just don't think the person is mature enough to understand the
implication that their words
the
have.
the implication that their words have and the power of what they can do and say off a snap of a finger. Just a little bit of like energy that you put out there that could be like, I hate this person. The moment I say I want this person gone, and because you are a voluptuous, beautiful white woman in the world, not America, not China, not anywhere else, but in the world where we're universally sound online, you have the power to make every racist prick be ready to stand up and do something with no regret. And that's not okay if you don't know. So I personally believe this person was uneducated on it and naive. I've been using that word naive a lot lately, and it's reality because a lot of these people that we're dealing with aren't the most educated, they aren't the most well versed, and they aren't the most understand. They're just young minded, so they don't understand what the implications can be. So
Do
that's where I
you
lose.
do you feel if you could have told this person one thing before they made this post, what would it have been?
My thing I would have told this person before they made the post was write this post down in your notepad, walk away, and think about what you're about to do. Think about the implications and what you can do to affect not only with this person, but the black community, but yourself and your reputation for that person's brand and your brand overall. Because now, again, and I mean this like in a non and not like there's a reason why Emmett Till's no longer with us from somebody saying things like this. And it's not, I don't think the person was trying to be that malicious. I really don't. I just believe the person doesn't know. And that is fine the only reason why it's fine is if you learn from your mistake and move forward and do better to be more inclined and more involved in the things that you need to do because you don't understand. Now you're seeing the repercussions of your words and how people are taking it and how people are like attacking this one person because of just a thing that you said and liking some of the things that were said about said person doesn't it just seems like there's more to it, and it's like, bro, you can't do that because the moment you're like liking and saying yeah this and that, you're already implementing that something went down, so you're retracing your steps, and it's like you can't do that.
And the
I think it's
fact
just
that
young-mindedness.
people were trying to, because we live in this weird fucking culture where people can't ask questions. So people were trying to ask questions, get some clarity without trying to be too deep. And even then, it took, I would say, probably a whole week before the whole apology came out.
It was a couple of days and then it got deleted, and then this new one came out, and again, we it's culture, and there's also naivety, if that's right. Um,
We'll say it is.
naivety. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not, but again, the naive nature of the situation of that said person is the reason why it went down that way, because they is and this isn't their fault to an extent. And the reason I say that is a lot of people get this false persona online and think that they can't be touched. They also think that they're too high up to do something that may seem kind of humbling. And last, they believe that they are doing something in their mind that's right at the time. And whenever you have 200,000 to 500,000 folks backing your corner, no matter what, you're gonna start believing your own lie. You're gonna start believing into your own thing that's not right. And it's like, that's just like, imagine, like, that's like me going up and like having a bunch of people tell me like, hey, like if I go like, man, I really want to go play in the NFL. And I never played a down of football in my life, right? If
Mhm.
that was the case, and I did, and I got 100,000 people behind me. Go ahead, Jordan, you can do it. You got it. I'm going to sit there and like, hell yeah. First play I get out there, I'm gonna get crushed. But the reality is this: I have so many people hyping me up and telling me and trying to come for said person. You start believing into it, and then you're like, once you start, and that's why I said, when you ask me that one thing, when you come back down to reality and already having a relationship with this person, now you're like, fuck, I fucked up. And you're young, and they're young enough to fix it. And that's
And
awesome.
now it's crazy because now all the white women are coming out and be like, I am so sorry. I should have used more. You know what I mean? And it's like we should do this. And I understand there's true victims out here. I really
100%.
fucking do.
There are.
But we need to start using some kind of common sense when these situations are going out. Before we go ahead and light the torches and get the pitchforks out, we need to sit back and ask ourselves, like, and the crazy part is, I think what made it so severe was how they were like, I'm getting on a plane and I'm going home now, like, because I'm so fucked up over this situation where people are like, yo, what the fuck happened?
Exactly. And one of the things you just said, bro, was this right here: herd mentality. This industry herd mentality. And when you said it's not about who tells the truth, but who gets the story out first, when you start thinking about that, it rings so much more bells, man. And when you leave things on red, it's just like, hey, Tech, I'm about to go buy a gun. I'm gonna turn my phone off real quick.
Yeah, yeah. And you told me probably prior to this mental issues that you've been having and shit like that. So now I'm like, yo, you good? You good? Like, what the fuck?
Now you're concerned. Now you have no idea what's going on. And again, that comes from, immaturity. I think it also comes from maybe somewhat attention. And I think we all look for a little bit of attention here. And I think some more than others. But I mean, the reality is this: um, we we don't know what and this is where I try to get the benefit of doubt. We don't know what the PTSD actually caused for this person to do this. We don't know how people actually respond to these things. And the reality is, okay, you may have had these traumas, but your trauma is now becoming traumatic for somebody else. And
Bro,
it's like,
what if, God forbid, they stop this man from getting the bag. They try to cancel this dude. What if the goons would have went after him? Like, yo, you did this. It's time for us to knuckle up. This dude could have got whole dragged out here in these streets while you're trying to figure out how to convey your cryptic post to the masses.
yeah,
And if you have to make, in my opinion, I would definitely say that, in my opinion, if you have to make such a cryptic post that no one knows what the fuck may have happened or may not have happened, why make the post in the first place?
It's young mindedness, bro. It's immaturity. I think it's just something that a lot of people in this person said cases, they probably wanted some type of attention. They probably didn't know how to convey the message, and they're just probably too young. I think that's just what it is. And again, we live in a world where people need attention, and it's like how else can you get attention by doing this? Now, granted, that may not be what their actual intentions was to get attention. I see how I use the two words there, but it's one of those things that it's just like, yo, you got to be able to you can convey a message without actually like murdering someone's character. So once you assassinate someone's character, it's like now you got to bring it back to life. And I'm happy to see what I'm seeing, but I honestly believe there needs to be more action involved overall. But I think that people grow from these things, and I think that I don't think this person did it out of malicious intent. I think they probably just got too ahead of themselves, and hopefully they can come back as a better person.
And now you have, I don't know, I don't even know if I want to call them a mafia, but you have the women
The
of
White
color.
Knights.
No, well, you have the
Oh,
women of color like, see, this what y'all get. This what y'all get. Mess with them white women. This what y'all get. And it's like, yo, it's insane. So we're damned if we do and damned if we don't, either which way.
so when you bring that up, what are you implying?
That, in a sense, we're not protected either which way. If there's an allegation against a man, it's no longer innocent until proven guilty. It's now guilty
Guilty till proven
by,
innocent.
yeah. And then once it gets found out that it really was a misunderstanding or whatever you may call it, then you have the other side like, well, if you didn't mess with this person, you wouldn't have had this issue.
Well, I was going to say something. I'm gonna definitely not say that one out loud.
So
But
it's one of those things. It's like hard. It's hard to really be like, I don't know. It's just definitely hard, because it's like, are we not supposed to be protected? Are people not supposed to believe us or believe what we're saying? Is it like, what is it? Do we always have to fight for our innocence?
yeah, and it's unfortunate. Um, and when I made the statement earlier about um, when you're dealing with a white woman, depending on the severity of the relationship, you have to vet this person and see the struggle that they've been through because you
But
can't just.
but think about it, right? We have to vet someone's mental capacity. Some of these situations we don't know until
We
something
know.
triggers them.
So again, what I'm saying is we have to vet every situation. But to answer your question, we are not protected as Black Americans or Black men in general. All we can do is protect ourselves with the people we surround ourselves with, because like I keep my circle pretty small. And like you stated, like you and I talk every day, and that's just how it's going to be. Like if I don't talk to you, I'm going to like bother you somewhere along the line, and that's just the reality of it because you have to protect your brothers.
Yeah.
You have to look out for your brothers, and you sometimes have to look out for them for their own
But let
good.
me also interject something too. These people have worked together other times. So in his mind, he probably thought, this chick cool. Every time we shoot, it's love. When we see each other, it's love.
But remember what I said. There's a difference between knowing somebody where they stand compared to knowing that what their favorite strand of weed is and how they like to get fucked. There's
Yeah.
a way different thing. You can be the best butt buddy that someone can ever have, and you might be able to roll the best joint for some certain folks, or be the greatest party person. But then it's like, let's start talking about what are your daddy's political views? Where did you grow up? How did you ever had to struggle? Do you understand my struggle? And a lot of these interracial situations, a lot of these people don't. So like when you're talking to these people, it's kind of like you can't not even going to say this in the wrong way, but it's kind of like a white woman that actually dates a black man that may be in a type of situation or in a way that this person may be more urban, right? That white woman has to understand your culture more than Susan would have to. That would be okay with the black Troy guy that went to Stanford. So it's like, granted, I was fortunate enough to be in like multiple situations. So I understand how to maneuver in different ways, growing up in the hood and being able to be a college graduate around surrounded by white people. So I was able to, will and deal like most African American men who have to venture outside of the hood. So the thing is, he may have been like, yeah, this person's cool, but again, we don't know how this person may be and how they don't think the severity would be. Like I can sit here and say with my partner, I did enough research. I know there's stories that I can talk to you about offline, but I can sit here and tell you this person's 10 toes down and they understand they can't ever walk in that another black person's shoes, but that person can definitely understand and be empathetic with what we have to go through. So I say all that to say that we're not protected by anyone, but we do have a few allies from no matter what the race is. It's just we just have to say as black people, we have to stick together and uplift our fellow man and not bring each other down. That's just the reality of it if we want to stay afloat.
All right. So how do you think the resolution of this situation is going to go? Because it's still early. It's still, we know most people in this industry have a brain of a gnat, so they'll forget about it soon. But what about those people that really won't? They were like, nah, you ain't never going to be cool in my books no more.
Are we talking about the person with the said allegations, or are we talking about the person who um did the accusing?
Let's use the accuser.
I think that person's going to be fine, personally speaking, because again, white woman, new talent,
And they
young.
were already talking about changing their name anyway, which I found was funny.
It's ironic, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think that the person didn't do it in malicious, but I think the way they're moving now, like at this current point, is the best way to go. Now it's like, what do you do next, right? How do you become more so of a ally than an op, right? And I think that person is going to be fine. It's just they gotta just get it because if they really meant what they said with the forgiveness and all that stuff and the things that they said, I really believe that there's all this. If we're supposed to give people second chances, and then we turn around and don't give a person a second chance, and we say this is the place of second chances, then we're just being hypocritical. So it's like I can't sit here and ask for forgiveness from somebody when someone's not giving forgiveness from me. So I think that this is something that can be rectified. I think this definitely, time heals all. but I also believe that this person is. I think they do come from a good place. I just think they just really dropped the ball and they apologize and they just got to continue to move.
All right. So with that, we're going to take another break. Right here at Whatever by Hektek, where it's a show about whatever. But people always think, like, before I go off, people always assume that I'm gonna just talk about section. And I'm like, nah, it's deeper than that.
I like it, but we can talk about some other shit when we come back, though.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know this song was that fucking long. I was like, fuck. All right, so we're back. Whatever by Hektek, the show about whatever. Um, well, you just never know what we're talking about. I have my guest with me, Jordan Wright, talking his real shit right now. Um, yeah. So, I don't even know what. Oh, well, have you seen on the news? I don't want to use names because if they're not relevant anymore, it'd be wrong. But did you see a particular person that used to play for the Miami Heat is now talking about is now talking about getting the divorce. You hear me? Hold up a sec. People always having difficulties. Yeah, so we had where someone, an NFL player, is now possibly getting a divorce from his actress wife because she allegedly claims it was all a front. He's been on the down low. He's on the down low, and I guess she's tired of it. So it's crazy to me because of the situation that we all know and seen. We thought, I don't know, like she knew what was up. I don't know. I don't think the dude swings both ways, but maybe he does. I don't know. I know he has a kid that is trans or identifies as a woman or a girl. So they used to have where they, how to say this, they encouraged that. They accepted that. They encouraged it. They recognized it the whole nine. So it's almost like, why now, if your husband is in the same community, you're not okay with that part of it? Um, Seems a little hypocritical to me. I don't know. You know, you can't say what's good over here is not good for you. Um, but that's what's going on right now. Hold on one second. So it's just one of those things. Can you hear me?
But yo, yep, we're good.
All
That was
right.
strange. I had to update.
So I was telling them about the D Wade situation. Uh, Gabrielle Union is filing for divorce because she said D
Oh,
Wade is in the closet.
no way!
Yeah,
Is that like just happened like right now?
that's recent.
I mean, we. Oh, never mind. Um.
Now, I'm a huge D Wade fan. Like, I felt D Wade was definitely underrated for his skills, what he brought to a team. But I was also just telling saying how we thought they were part of the whole community because his son's or his daughter. I'm sorry, I don't want to misgender anybody. His daughter is part of the
Yeah,
community. So, and
yeah,
they were riding tough for that. So it's almost like if he's in the closet, why you not okay with that? Like this ain't nothing new.
true. That's true. I mean, I think the problem is for her probably is that like maybe he was trying to keep it from her.
I don't know. You think so?
I mean, if he's in the closet and this is your woman, they're not married, are they? Or if they're no,
Yeah,
they're
they're
married.
married. They've been married.
They're, so if your significant other has been in the closet for this amount of time, and it's kind of like a slap in the face. It's
You
like,
think
damn,
so?
bro. Well, yeah, because if you on the down low and you're putting on a facade, like you're a fraud, and it's like you should be able to tell your woman that you love that you are into men, and if
How
you're
do
into
how do we
men,
know he did it?
oh, we don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying if that's the reason why,
Yeah.
then it's like it's kind of messed up on his behalf. But again, as you stated, it's not about who tells the truth. It's about who gets the story out first. But again, we don't know, and like for all we know, that could just be like some tabloid stuff.
100%. And like, it's one thing to have the Dwight Howard situation where that's like out there to where it's just speculations on this situation. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I seen a TikTok of that stuff, man. It had me crying, bro.
yeah, I just want to know, as a 100% heterosexual man, what number y'all hit so I can stop right before that. I never want to say I done fucked too much pussy. I'm good.
So like you rather switch it up to man booty. Like you don't ever want to be that
Just
much.
tell me what number it was so I can stop
Is
before.
is that what he said? Is that
I
what they were
don't
saying?
know. I'm just saying though. You know what I mean? Like what what number was it for you that you're like, you know what?
I'm
All
good off
pussy's
of
the
this.
same. I need to try something different.
I mean, I can't judge a man for their sexuality,
At all. I just want to
but
know what number it was.
if that's what was said,
yeah,
for him, like that's it, I had enough.
yeah.
I mean,
I
if that's
I just want to
uh,
know if there's a number. Tell me your number so I could be like, all right, I'm good.
like after that, I got to slow down my roll.
Nah, before that, I ain't even testing fate. So if their number is 1,999, hey, we go together for life. And I'll just recycle the old ones.
I mean, bro, it's one of those things, man, where it's like that can't be his reason. I'm sorry, I'm not
I don't
hearing that.
know.
Like,
What do you
if
think his reasons is? I just want to try man butt.
wait, you were just making that up, or like his number that made him say
Yeah,
that?
I was just making up the number. I don't know what his number is.
Oh, I thought that was what he was saying. Like, I just had so much veg that I just like, you know
Nah, I'm
what?
just
I
saying.
give. I don't know, bro. I'm not touching that, man. But I gotta see this fucking TikTok, bro. This shit's fucking hilarious, yo. I'm gonna send it to you.
And I get
Uh,
what he said. I like how Dwight handled that kinda. He was
what do you
like,
say?
hey, why y'all more concerned about where I put my wood at? It's mine. I can do what I want with it. I respect that.
You got to. And you know what's crazy, dog? That
But the problem is the consent thing. Cause you had Kitty jumping out of the closet you don't know the story.
I don't know the story. That's why I literally believed you saying like he was like, that's it. I'm done. I don't know
so
the full
so
story.
so the White Howard in litigation right now because a dude's claiming he went over to D Howard's house to do some things,
D
and
Howard.
he was like cool, and then when he got there, D was like cool, we could do some things, but I also got Kitty, which is his alleged other partner, and Kitty's not a female.
Oh, Kitty's a puppy.
Kitty's a whole dude.
Okay.
And forced this dude to get fellatio from Kitty. And Kitty took the dude home.
All right. Hey, he's not wrong. Um.
So my thing is, I'm cool with you doing whatever you want to do. Cool.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
my thing is, especially with the Gabrielle Union D Wade shit, is like, damn, both of their names. Damn, both of their names starts with a D. My thing is, you were fighting for this, for the daughter to be recognized as a daughter, but your man can't take wood from time to time, and you not okay with it.
That wasn't her daughter though,
Oh, that's true, but she fought like it was.
because she's an actress.
Damn.
I truly believe sometimes people in that industry
Are super fake.
don't. Yes, so they will have to do something like that because they don't believe they might be like fake supportive of gay rights and not actually supportive of gay rights or
Mm.
rights of someone being of a transgender. And instead of just being like staying 10 toes down, I don't know. I can't sit here and be like I know Gabrielle Union, but I can say that I know people are fake as fuck. And for you to like unless like again, if she's filing for divorce for him liking men on the low, it's either he didn't tell her that or she felt like he was spending more time with the guy than her.
I think that's what it may have been.
I just don't I just don't get it. Um why I just don't get why you would put that out there of your man. It just seems like a lot.
I feel like the move of social media now. Um, we normally never heard a lot of these stories unless they were in the tabloids. Now people are openly, readily giving out information.
Like it's like, yo, why are you like he snitched on me and then start telling and he's like he even asked for all that.
Right, 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 right,
He just asked where the gun was and you told him where the gun was stashed and where the three bodies you
right, and where the coke was and all this other shit. You know
had.
what I mean?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, the gun's over in the back of his grandma's house and the stash house is over his cousin's. But he
Right.
ain't for all that, bro.
Yeah. I do feel, especially we see it on social media all the time. People just do too much. They do too much. They tell too much, and then they get mad when people are like, "Oh, you said such and such and such," and they be like,
Hmm.
"Well, stop telling my business." Well,
Right.
first of all, you told your business. We
Hmm.
just agreeing with it or disagreeing with it.
That's it. That's it. That's really it. And that's the problem. It's like why did you make this more than what it has to be?
Yeah.
And it's always been like that. Like what are we really doing here? And it's just When you and I said this the other day, man, we just live by a different code, a different. We're just built from a different cloth, bro. And it's like we can't even say it's the youngsters that may do this because it's people older than us that do this messy shit, act this weird way, and just do shit that just ain't like that ain't G code.
at
Like,
all.
bro, like I grew up with people that yo, like, you gotta live by a code. You gotta believe in something. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's like a lot of people don't. They take photos with the ops. And I can't, bro. I can't
yeah, bro. There's a lot of people that don't stand on shit.
stand for nothing, bro.
And those
Stand
are the
for
type of people
nothing.
I gotta get you to fuck with. So a couple people that I can't have around me. Someone that'll do anything for money and someone
I
who doesn't
remember that
stand
one.
on anything.
No principles.
Nothing. It's crazy how conversations about having a certain lifestyle and how disgusted they were or a person may be, and now the a person's doing that lifestyle.
It must be hard out there for a pimp.
Um, I listen. One thing I just don't like. Even I try not to be hypocritical, right? I try to be what it is, and okay, if I am hypocritical, I'll adjust myself, right?
Yeah, you can do self reflection.
Yeah, there's so many people that just fucking huge ass hypocrites out here, and once you point it out to them, they look at you like you the fucked up one. Nah, I remember what you said. You might not remember what you said, but I remember what you said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We peep shit, bro. We totally peep shit like that. And the reality is this is like what did they say if you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for
You'll fall
anything?
for anything, right?
And it's like, how can you how can you really sit here? You can't consider you a real person when you literally like I can never go and talk shit about someone or call someone I can never call a female a hoe for
Yeah.
things that if I'm doing hoe activities.
Hmm.
That's just the reality of it. If like no, I think everyone has a moral compass per se,
Hmm.
but I think that is something that needs to be like you we all have our standards. We all have our what we believe in. But it's like when you believe in something and then you go and join the ops and talk shit on the things you just talk shit on, it's like, what did you actually ever believe in? You're just
And,
waiting.
and
You just needed an opportunity to jump
and
sides.
did you believe it just because of the group of people you're around? Because there's so many people that morph to whomever they're around, and that's
Mm-hmm.
dangerous because you really truly don't have an identity.
A chameleon, and not a good one. Like there's a way to
No.
like mingle. There's ways to literally adapt to your situation. But when
Hmm.
you're literally becoming a junior of somebody else every time, it's like, all right, little junior, all right, little mama, all right, little daddy. Like you ain't, you just a little chip off the old block, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jacking a whole swag.
Yo, it's insane too. And then, like I said, would be big mad when you point it out to them. And no, just stand on. Listen, if I don't like somebody, I ain't talking to them.
Talk to him, talk to
I don't have
him.
that. I don't have no conversations for you. What are we
Yeah,
talking about? How much I don't like you? That's dumb.
yeah, 100%. There's nothing to discuss because once you make yourself the op, like why would I ever want to be associated with anything about you and your squad? Like that's just the reality. Like I'm not. I no, fuck that, man. You can't sit here, and again, again, it goes back to what I said, bro. We are built from a different cloth from a lot of these people in this industry. And
Hmm.
it's like one thing I'm learning, and one thing I'm really learning is you can't expect things from others that you expect from yourself.
100%.
And it's like one of the hardest pills to swallow because you look and be like, damn, this ain't hard to be 100.
Right.
Like, but I guess this is your 100, and I'm learning that. And it's
Mm.
like with how people get in certain situations and do different things, it's like, okay, are you actually like, could you find another way, or do you not know any other way to get out of a certain situation? Do you not know how to navigate through things?
But
You
can
know?
you admit some people are trying to navigate out of situations because of the situation they put themselves in?
Oh, 100%. 100%. And it's like, it's just like I know so many situations and I know folks that literally just did themselves in. And the reality is this is like, yeah, you may have put yourself in a hole or in a box, but I mean, it's just like credit. It doesn't take one bad thing to knock your credit down. It's a collective of things. So it's like the collective things that you put yourself down in, you just got to bring the collective up. But when people are, trying to find the fast way out, and it's like now you're putting yourself in a worse situation than you were because now you're compromising your morals. And I can't rock with that. I'm sorry. Like I rather I rather be broke and not compromise my morals than be rich knowing that I sold myself out. Because if I'm going to be broke, I'm going to be broke because of stand up decisions. And typically, when you do stand up things for stand up decisions, you're not going to be broke in the first place.
Right, right, right.
You know what I mean?
No, 100%. And I think that's the thing because how can I trust you and you can't even trust yourself? You can't even do what you told yourself you were going to do and not do.
Talk to him, bro. Yeah, you ain't lying. How can you? Damn, you might have to write that one down.
Yeah, I
You
already
might have,
forgot
like
it, but it's
this is why I'm described, man. This is why I'm described. So I already
uh,
forgot it.
it's in order for me to give the advice that I give, I also have to look inwards and be like, am I moving the same way?
Bro, 100%. It's the biggest word of the day from this topic is accountability.
Bro, how did I knew you were gonna say accountability?
Because that's what it is. It's simple. You gotta hold yourself accountable before you hold others accountable. Like you can't sit here like, you can't. It's just like for anybody that's a sports, like a fanatic like myself. You can't expect your players to perform on your team when you're not producing yourself. So if
Yeah.
we're playing basketball, if I can't even drop 15 points a game and I want you to score 30, like why
How?
why would I
Yeah.
be like how?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like if I'm not carrying my weight as a defender, like bro, I need you to go shut his ass down. And then it's like, yo, like you getting crossed up. You lost your ankles last week. So it's like what do you mean? Like you gotta hold yourself accountable first. Once you
Yeah.
do that, the rest will follow. But a lot of people can't look in the mirror. A lot of people cannot look in the mirror at all. And
And do you feel
that's the reality.
there's a lot of pointing at others like you can't do this, you don't do that, you don't do that, but
Yeah,
the person doing the accusing and stuff is not doing the same shit. Like
you
like
can't.
like let's go back, let's spin the block.
Okay.
If someone went to that person that accused the black man of something, cryptically or not, could they handle the same the same thing that happened to him, could they handle that?
No, as my boy used to say, some people ain't fit to boot up. And the reality is, it goes back to what I was saying in regards to you kind of got to vet certain people for certain situations. And it's like it goes back to certain things that we talked about with outside of this. It's like you don't the product of that person's environment or their surroundings make some certain people. So if you are somebody that never had a tough time and then finally a million people are yelling at you and calling for your head,
Yeah,
you ain't gonna be able to handle that.
yeah.
I've seen it. People do it all the time. Bro, you know what it is? It's just like a substitute teacher when they get a class in the inner city school and start crying. You ain't
You
fit to
ain't
boot
built
up.
for this.
You ain't built for it. And that's just the reality of it. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. And I think that's very, because I try not to do to others what I can't have done to me.
Exactly. Like I can't you can't be a physical trainer with a beer belly. And you can't hold another person accountable when you can't even look in the mirror and like, you know what, bro? You ain't it. Like you gotta literally be like, this guy, like I hold people to a higher standard because I hold myself to a higher standard.
Mm.
And that's just the reality of it. So it's like if I don't see growth in someone or trying to do something or just doing things to stay afloat, like if you drowning off of your own decisions and you're like past 30, it's like when are you ever gonna grow up? When are you ever gonna be something? Because if you can't, I can't why would I want to rock with you?
Bro,
How can I rock
there's
like that?
there's people there's people well into their adulthood still out here trying to be kids.
And you know, I've seen that with some of the people and heard stories about that with people like that, bro. It's just like, yeah, I get some people that may have had children early, but still want to grow, like still want to live their lives. But trust me, man, you got to grow up. Like, you got to grow up. That's just the reality of it. And it's like
Wait,
you don't,
especially when you fall on people half your age.
bro.
I can
I
never, don't get me wrong, we definitely feed off each other with wisdom and advice, you know what I mean? But if you didn't have the wisdom that you have, and I'm sure the same thing goes for you, for me, if I didn't have the wisdom that I had, we wouldn't be rocking as tough as we do.
no, I don't. No, not at all.
And I
Um,
think the people that so many people follow are less than, or you know what I mean, or it's almost like being unequally yoked. You know what I mean? Like you done lived a full life. These people haven't lived a full life or any lives, and these are the people that you're running behind. It's crazy.
the difference is though with you and I, the reason why our relationship is so different, our dynamic is different, is because we're both not afraid to listen to each other.
Mm,
And a lot of people can't handle that. And that's the reality of it. Like, as a grown man, to listen to another grown man, like, yo, you wrong.
yeah, yeah,
Yo, you gotta, like, yo, hold on. And it wasn't like, no, fuck that tech. No, fuck that Jordan. I'm not doing that. It was more like, hey, this is bro speaking to you.
yeah, yeah.
Time out. Think about what you about to do. Time out. Wait a minute. Is that the right move? No, fuck that. No, it's like, yo, this person might be right. And there's a few times where you talked me off the ledge of doing something that I probably shouldn't do. And there's times where I talk to you like, hey, don't just react to that. And it's
Yeah.
just like that's how you better your fellow man. That's how you better your contemporaries. This is how you better your team. And a lot of people are so I and not team oriented. They don't get it because the thing is, if the team wins, I win.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple, but people don't see it that way.
They just
It's
look at
like,
their own stats.
yeah, like it's just like, yo, the team that we can win the game by 15 points today, and you didn't score a bucket, and you're gonna be mad as hell, bro. We won, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's not a team. That's not a team player. Like, did you still get your ring? Did you still get to the chip?
Bro, there's
You know what?
people, especially that play football, never left the bench. Still got Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you never left the bench and you still contributed, you're still winning.
Yeah.
The reality of it is people want to be seen, and there's nothing wrong with being seen, but you got to know your role. You have to
Mm-hmm.
know your role with that and allow and let the people to cook. And it's like, bro, if you ain't doing that, you're gonna be your own downfall. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. Like, even bro, when the little kid tried to come at me on my shorty's post, like, dude, like
Oh
you're a
yeah,
child. But it's like, yo, I wasn't trying to some kid, but it was like, bro, like I'm trying to give you advice. Like you look like a whole ass bitch out here. That's the reality of it. Like
yeah,
you look like a hoe ass hoe, mad that someone ain't trying to fuck you,
yeah,
and you going to come on a grown woman's post and act like that and say it's a joke. That's not a joke. Grown people don't take jokes like that. And I'm like, yo, delete this. This is weak, and you acting like a little pussy. And it's like
yeah,
that's not the right way. And I'm like, delete this. It looks weak because it shows weakness. When a man shows weakness, you don't want that. So I'm like, hey, jokes or not, delete this. But you're really pressed on all the wrong things, my guy.
yeah.
So it's just when people can't take criticism, they can't take real shit. That's the reason why they're their own downfall. They implode.
But I also told you on the flip side, when you
You
argue
did.
with a fool, that
You
makes you
become a fool
another
yourself.
fool. Yeah,
And I
because you
learned
can't.
that.
There's certain people you be like, you got that, bro.
And you're right, because you know the thing is sometimes you don't know the person's a fool until you actually start engaging to a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, you would think that certain people that aren't just a fool, but until you actually see it, like, oh, you know what, you got it. And again, like I did do that. I was like, oh, you're good, and that's when I already knew it was over.
Yeah.
And
It
it's like there's
says
no reason to argue with a fool.
when, especially when you are responding, you are, yeah, you're reading to respond or listening to respond. You're really not
Hmm.
listening.
At all. Well, at all. A lot of people don't step back and take it like, oh, what's this person saying to me? This person is literally just talking.
Yeah,
This person's just hearing things.
100%. So with that being said, go ahead and tell them where they can find you, what projects you got going on for yourself, all that good jazz.
Man, first off, I just got to say, appreciate the opportunity. Again, I need my own segment. I'm gonna be honest with you. I need my own segment. So,
I'll try to have
you
you
got
on at least once a month. You know what's crazy? They
it.
thought you were going to be my co-host.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's okay. You know, and I said this to you in the beginning, but I said, I was usually, yo, I'm doing this and that. I'm like, all right. And I was like, I'm not going to force myself to be in the situation this is your work. So it's
Yeah,
like, if you want me, you know, you got me.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
no, man, I would love to be like the Aaron Rodgers of this. Like, I'll be on here every week, every month, whatever you need. But
yeah.
I appreciate it. So basically, you can find me on the X, Jordan underscore Wright X, and hit the link tree. You can hit everything there. You can see all my stuff if you're interested in taking a look at all the fun things. Also, shout out to SBU, definitely the co-founder there with my man, my brother, Hektek Desire. If you really want to see what's going on, SBU, we got something really special going on. We'll have to talk about that on the next time. But yeah, definitely take a look at the work and support your favorite models.
All right, that's it. That was short.
I mean, what else do you want me to tell them?
I
I mean,
don't know. Like I thought you
shoot
were gonna have some more shit to say.
Oh, okay. You know what? I do got more stuff to say. Definitely take a look next week. Oh, I guess won't be next week. That actually won't count.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, well, anyway, monthly cam shows with the girlfriend. You don't want to miss those if you're into the live shows. They're freaking amazing. Um, Definitely, she's a good look. You'll see she's the first person on my page. I'm not going to put her name on there because I don't want motherfuckers trying to take my shorty. But definitely take a look at my first post, my pin post on my ex. You can't miss it. We got live shows every month. Working on different things with fetish sites and definitely got a lot going on. And we're excited to take off, especially with my brother Tech, especially with my woman. I can't wait to see what the next year brings. I'm excited to see what we do, and I appreciate the opportunity every time, man, to lend my voice.
All right. And so here you are with your boy, your host with the most, Hectic. You can catch me on all social media platform, or you could just Google me, and all my shit'll pop up. This is another wonderful show with Whatever by Hectic. Check it out on Opulus Radio. If you haven't downloaded the app, go ahead and download the app. On every Tuesday. Oh, sorry, every Thursday at 8 p.m. And then repeat shows are on every Tuesday. So yeah, loving the vibes, loving the energy from Opulus Radio. We're doing big things. There's a lot of great podcasters on there doing their own things. So definitely go on there and check it out. And with that, we're out of here.